So, what's the difference between coping and recovering in traumatic brain injuries? Huge difference, okay? In TBIs, so coping means managing your symptoms. Now, recovering means restoring the function. Huge difference. Traditional approaches often focus on living with TBI, but what I focus on talking about on this channel and the treatment that I went through means like healing or restoring the function of the brain. Using techniques that help it rewire, regulate, and then reconnect. And it's a massive change, I'm telling you, because everybody, if you're taking medication or they're telling you just you got to manage your environment or the place you're in, well, things that trigger you, let's say like a child is screaming or crying, if that creates a problem, or the sun is outside, light sensitivity, which I had, all these different things, like managing it by just coping with it is so difficult. And that's why there's finally ways that you can restore the function of the brain. That's all I talk about, because that's what I believe in, because that's what they've done on me. So there's a huge difference between just coping between things and actually seeing restoration into your brain, in your brain, which affects the entire body. And there are like traditional approaches. We just have to get away from this thing of like, well, this is what happened. And now you're going to be like that the rest of your life, because that isn't true. But for example, that's what often doctors say, because they don't know what's going on. They see there's no structural damage. There's no, from an MRI, CT scan, there's nothing wrong. And then they just don't know the technology has been developed to restore these functions. And that's what we need to get the message out, which is all I'm doing. That you can go in with precision, with laser and electricity, and restore those areas that have been damaged and rewire the brain back to the way it was, so you can cope. Not cope, but it's so you can experience the world the way it's supposed to without you having to have blindfolds over, or wear sunglasses or be blindfolded like I was, or black out our entire apartment, which we had. So that's the goal. You want to get to a place to where you're recovering, which means then full functional restoration. But in the beginning, to get there, you have to learn to cope and manage with it. Like I had terrible light sensitivity. I couldn't even go outside. I couldn't do anything. And I couldn't have just pushed myself and be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be like this. You have to learn to cope in the beginning. So you do everything you can to cope. You work with your family, with your friends, whoever it might be. You use like what I would use, sunglasses. And as I got better and better, I was like, whoa. As they started sending more electricity through my brain and seeing the changes they wanted, and you use laser to heal the cells, then I finally got to a place where like now I'm really recovering. I'm not just coping with it, and it's a huge difference. But in the beginning, yes, you have to find ways to cope with the symptoms, to deal with it, so you can get the treatment. And when Dr. Beck's treatment starts working, then suddenly like, wow, life's pretty good. You take off your sunglasses, you're no more long blindfolded. You can go outside. People are screaming, a child's screaming. You don't get triggered. You're like, okay, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm handling this. I'm getting better now. So it's a massive difference. So what I'm trying to do is to get away from this whole thing of managing symptoms. Like I really need, like, you know what? We need to go in there and we need to deal with the root issue, and that is in the brain. Do a QEEG scan, figure out what's going on. How's the brain not talking? What's communicating in a way that it's not like communicating incorrectly? Find those patterns and tweak the brain waves back to normal. And that's what Dr. Beck is the best in the world to do, and he can treat you at home, which is why I tell everybody about it. So check it out. Go to my website, got playlists with all kinds of stuff here. You can read about my story. This is the guy with a mild concussion that he wasn't able to walk from it, severe symptoms, but he got well. There's Dr. Beck. There's the technology that's being used. And this is my story. You can see a girl with a really bad TBI, but after 6 weeks, she was fine. I'm telling you, this is amazing. We need to get the word out, okay? All right, thanks.